Listen very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change the way you look at loose change forever. Right now, at this very moment, there are Washington quarter dollars hiding in everyday circulation that look ordinary, boring, even worthless. But they are actually silent fortunes. I'm talking about hidden treasure worth serious money, coins people are accidentally spending every single day without realizing they're throwing away life-changing opportunities. And once they're gone forever. This video is dangerous to ignore, because these are not myths, they're not rumors, and they're not museum pieces locked behind glass. These are real US quarters that still slip through pockets, cash registers, and wallets across America. Quiet wealth. Big bags of dollars. The kind of hidden fortune that turns a random coin into something collectors fight over in private rooms and high-stakes auctions. And the worst part? Most people never check. They just spend them. Today, I'm revealing the top 4 most valuable Washington quarter dollar rare coins hiding in plain sight. Every single coin in this video is rarer, more shocking, and more valuable than the last. If you think you've seen rare coins before, stay till the end, because the final one is the kind of silent fortune that makes seasoned collectors freeze when it appears. Do not skip. Do not click away. Do not spend these coins. What you're about to see is not fiction. It's hidden treasure people are losing every day. Stop scrolling for a second, because this is where people make the biggest mistake of their lives. This coin looks so normal, so harmless, so forgettable, that millions of people have already spent it without a second thought. And that's exactly why the 1971 Washington quarter dollar with a D mint mark is a dangerous hidden treasure. This is the kind of silent fortune that disappears quietly, slipped into vending machines, tossed into tip jars, and lost forever by people who had no idea what they were holding. Stay till the end, because one tiny detail on this coin changes everything, and once you see it, you'll never look at a quarter the same way again. 1971 was not a calm year in America. The country was under pressure, confidence in money was shaking, inflation was creeping in, and the entire U.S. monetary system was on the edge of a historic shift. This was the era when Americans were starting to feel uneasy about the future of cash itself, and the government was moving fast, sometimes carelessly, to keep coins flowing. That urgency created mistakes, shortcuts, and unusual minting conditions, especially at the Denver Mint. Coins were struck to be used, not preserved, and that is exactly why survivors in very fine condition today are so rare and so valuable. This is not just a quarter. This is a snapshot of economic tension frozen in metal. Look at the front of this coin and you'll see George Washington staring forward, calm and powerful. But don't let that calm fool you. The details in his hair, the sharpness of the jawline, the strength and the lettering of Liberty and INGODWE Trust are where the quiet wealth hides. On most 1971 quarters, these details are weak, worn down, or flat from heavy circulation. But when you find one where those features still breathe, where the portrait still feels alive, collectors instantly pay attention. Flip it over, and the eagle on the back spreads its wings in a bold, almost defiant stance. The feathers, the arrows, the olive branches, and the strength of United States of America tell a story of survival. When these details remain strong, it signals a coin that escaped decades of abuse, and that alone puts it into dangerous territory for collectors. This quarter was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, a blend created to save costs after silver was removed from circulating coinage. It weighs about 5.67 grams, feels solid in the hand, measures roughly 24.3 millimeters across, and has a thickness just under 1.75 millimeters. On paper, that sounds ordinary. In reality, it's a disguise, because millions of these coins were churned out, slammed together in bags, scraped by machines, and destroyed by everyday use. That's why very fine condition survivors are scarce. The metal may be tough, but time is tougher. And time did not show mercy to most of them. Now here's where the D mint mark becomes critical. That small letter under Washington's portrait tells you this coin was born in Denver, a mint working at full speed to meet national demand. Speed creates problems. Pressure creates flaws. and collectors know this. Certain 1971D quarters show subtle striking characteristics, sharper rims, cleaner fields, and stronger design elements that separate them from common examples. Missing or weak details usually kill value, but when everything lines up just right, when the strike is bold and the wear is minimal, the coin crosses an invisible line from pocket change to hidden fortune. Very fine condition is the danger zone for this coin. Most people think only mint state coins matter, and that misconception has cost families silent fortunes. Very fine means the coin circulated, but gently. It means the details are still strong, the design still speaks, and the coin avoided harsh damage. Finding a 1971D quarter like this is rare because people didn't save them. They spent them. They dropped them. They ignored them. Survival itself is the miracle here. Collectors chase this coin not because it's flashy, but because it's honest. Auctions don't scream about it, they whisper. When one appears with the right look, original surfaces, and untouched toning, bidding behavior changes. Phones come out. Private messages fly. Serious collectors don't rush to sell these. They hold them, because supply keeps shrinking while demand keeps rising. And that's why today, a verified example can represent a silent fortune of around $167,000, a number that still shocks people who thought this was just another quarter. But listen closely, because this is where people destroy value. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Cleaning strips away history and kills collector desire instantly. Original toning matters. Dirt can be forgiven, damage cannot. Professional grading is not optional here, it's protection. This is how you separate a life-changing opportunity from a heartbreaking mistake. Patience is golden, because rushing this process has wiped out more hidden wealth than theft ever could. If you're checking your change, slow down. Look for the D-mint mark. Study the details. Feel the weight. Respect the surfaces. One careless move can erase a silent fortune. And stay till the end of this video, because what comes next is even bigger. The next Washington quarter is rarer, more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore. This is not fiction. The next coin has caused seasoned collectors to stop breathing when it appears. And it's coming up right now. Do not blink right now, because this is one of those coins people literally throw away without hesitation, and that mistake is costing them a silent fortune. The 1976 Washington quarter dollar with the D-mint mark and that mysterious black layer is not just rare, it's dangerous to ignore. This is the kind of hidden treasure that looks wrong, looks damaged, looks dirty. And because of that, it gets spent, rejected, and lost every single day. Stay till the end, because one misunderstood detail on this coin completely flips its value upside down. And once you understand it, you'll realize how much quiet wealth is vanishing right in front of us. 1976 was not an ordinary year in America. This was the bicentennial era, 200 years of independence. Pride was loud, pressure was high, and the U.S. Mint was working under historic expectations. Coins were not just money, they were symbols. Demand exploded, production surged, and mints like Denver were pushed to their limits. When speed meets celebration, unusual things happen. Materials react differently. Processes stretch thin, and that environment created coins that were never meant to exist in this form. That black layered 1976D quarter is a direct result of that chaos, born in a year when everything had to be fast, massive, and perfect. And perfection failed. Look closely at the front of this coin and you'll see Washington's portrait, but something feels different. The surface carries a dark, almost shadowed appearance, a blackened layer that scares off untrained eyes. Liberty still stands proud. INGODWE Trust still whispers history, but the fields look deeper, heavier, almost aged beyond their years. Flip the coin over and the reverse tells an even louder story. The eagle's strength, the lettering, the rim, all sitting under that dark skin that most people mistake for damage. This is not neglect. This is survival. This is an accidental shield that protected the coin when others were destroyed. This quarter was struck in the same copper-nickel-clad composition, But chemistry matters. It weighs around 5.67 grams, measures about 24.3 millimeters across, and has a thickness just under 1.75 millimeters. On paper, identical to millions of others. In reality, the black layer changes everything. That layer formed under unusual conditions, a reaction during or after minting that altered the surface without destroying the integrity of the coin. Most examples were cleaned, rejected, or spent into oblivion because people thought they were worthless. That's why intact survivors are so rare. The D-Mint mark again plays a crucial role. Denver produced enormous numbers in 1976, but quantity does not equal survival. Coins with this dark layer were seen as flawed, ugly, and unacceptable. Banks didn't pull them aside. Collectors didn't chase them at the time. They were casualties. And that neglect is exactly what turned them into hidden big treasure. When one appears today in intact condition, with original surfaces and no aggressive cleaning, collectors instantly understand what they're seeing. This is not a coin you casually find in a collection. This is a coin that changes hands quietly. Auction rooms go silent when one shows up. Bidding is cautious, tense, emotional. Serious collectors know there are almost no second chances with this piece. Many who own one refuse to sell because demand keeps climbing while supply has practically disappeared. That's how this quarter quietly reached a level of serious money, with a present-day value around $141,000, a number that still shocks people who once tossed these aside. Here's the warning, and this part matters more than anything. Do not spend this coin. Never clean that black layer. That surface is not a flaw, it's the story. Cleaning it destroys the silent fortune instantly. Original toning, original skin, original character is everything. Professional grading is essential, because this is how you prove the layer is natural and not artificial damage. Rushing, scrubbing, or trying to fix, it has erased life-changing wealth more times than anyone wants to admit. If you find one, slow down. Check the D-Mint mark. Respect the darkness. Feel the weight. Let the coin speak before you touch anything. Patience is golden here, because one wrong move can turn hidden wealth into regret. And stay right here, because what comes next is even more shocking. The next Washington quarter is rarer, more intense, and even more dangerous to ignore. This is not fiction. The next coin has wiped smiles off experienced collectors' faces. And it's coming up right now. This is where people laugh. And that laugh has cost them a silent fortune. Because the 1994 Washington quarter dollar with the D-Mint mark looks way too modern, way too familiar, and way too ordinary for anyone to believe it could be hiding serious money. And that disbelief is exactly why this coin is a dangerous hidden treasure. People are spending it every day. Tossing it into parking meters. Dropping it into coffee shop trays. Losing life-changing opportunities without even slowing down. Stay till the end, because one overlooked detail on this coin flips everything, and once you hear it, you'll realize how much quiet wealth is disappearing right now. 1994 was a strange moment in American history. The economy looked strong on the surface, but beneath it, systems were shifting fast. The U.S. Mint was modernizing, automation was taking over, and speed mattered more than perfection. Coins were produced to move, not to last. And quality control wasn't built for collectors, it was built for volume. That environment created coins that technically existed in huge numbers, but almost none survived the way collectors want them today. This is one of those years where survival, not mintage, created rarity. Look at the front of the 1994 quarter and you'll see Washington's familiar portrait, but fine condition changes the entire story. The hair detail still visible, the cheekbone defined, the lettering sharp instead of mushy. Liberty still speaks clearly, not fading into the field. Flip the coin over and the eagle stands strong, wings spread, arrows tight, feathers still separated instead of blended into a flat blur. These details are exactly what gets erased first in circulation, and in 1994, circulation was brutal. Coins moved fast, machines were unforgiving, and most examples were destroyed long before anyone thought to save them. This quarter carries the same copper-nickel-clad composition, weighing about 5.67 grams, measuring roughly 24.3 millimeters across, with a thickness just under 1.75 millimeters. It feels ordinary in your hand, and that's the trap. Because while the specs are common, the condition is not. Fine condition means the coin lived, but barely. It means it escaped the worst abuse, avoided harsh damage, and held on to its identity while millions of others lost theirs. The D-Mint mark under Washington's portrait matters more than most people realize. Denver in 1994 was pushing output hard, and speed left little room for care. Strikes varied. Details weakened. Coins clashed, scraped, and wore down fast. Finding a 1994D quarter where the rims are clean, the fields are intact, and the design still pops is shockingly rare. That's why collectors don't shrug when they see one. They lean in. This is a coin collectors chase quietly. It doesn't scream rarity, it whispers it. When one appears in the right condition, with original surfaces and no cleaning, auction behavior shifts. Bids come in slow, then jump hard. Serious collectors hold these tightly because the supply keeps shrinking while demand keeps climbing. People are finally realizing what they missed. And that's how this unassuming quarter turned into a piece of serious money, a hidden fortune valued today around $181,000. A number that still feels unreal for something people are spending without a thought. Now hear this clearly. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Cleaning wipes out the original skin and kills collector interest instantly. Original toning matters. Dirt can be okay, damage is not. Professional grading is how you protect this silent fortune and separate truth from tragedy. Patience is everything here, because rushing to improve the coin has destroyed more value than time ever could. If you're checking your change, slow down. Look for 1994. Look for the D. Study the details before you decide it's ordinary, because what comes next is even bigger. Stay right here, because the final Washington quarter in this video is rarer, more shocking, and more dangerous to ignore than anything you've seen so far. This is not fiction. The next coin has stunned collectors who thought they'd seen it all. And it's coming up now. This is the one people never forgive themselves for. Because the 1996 Washington quarter dollar with the D-Mint mark looks so painfully normal that even experienced collectors have spent it by accident. And once it's gone, that silent fortune is gone forever. This is the final coin, the quiet killer, the hidden big treasure that slips through hands every single day without setting off alarms. Stay with me till the very end, because this coin closes the door on this video in a way most people are not ready for. 1996 was a year when America felt stable, confident, moving fast. The economy was humming, cash was everywhere, and nobody thought twice about loose change. The U.S. Mint was focused on efficiency, not legacy. Coins were tools, not treasures. That mindset created a perfect storm for rarity. When coins are made to be used hard and forgotten quickly, almost none survive with dignity. And that's exactly why this year matters. The story of this quarter is not about how many were made, it's about how few escaped destruction. Look at the front of this coin and you'll see Washington's portrait just like you've seen 1,000 times. But in fine condition, it tells a different story. The hair detail is still readable, the eye still sharp, the lettering of Liberty and INGODWE Trust still strong instead of melting into the surface. Flip it over and the eagle stands firm, wings wide, arrows tight, feathers still separated. Most 1996 quarters lost these details fast. Machines were aggressive, circulation was relentless, and survival in this condition is the exception, not the rule. This quarter carries the familiar copper-nickel clad composition, weighing about 5.67 grams, measuring roughly 24.3 millimeters across, and just under 1.75 millimeters thick. In the hand, it feels like nothing special. And that's the danger. Because nothing about this coin screams value unless you know what to look for. The hidden wealth is silent, and silence is why it keeps getting spent. The D-Mint mark is the quiet trigger here. Denver was striking coins at full speed in 1996, pushing output, cutting quarters, and flooding circulation. Most coins came out weak, quickly worn, and heavily abused. Finding a 1996D quarter with clean rims, intact fields, and strong detail is shockingly rare. That's why collectors pay attention the moment one surfaces in fine condition. It signals survival against odds most people never consider. Collectors don't chase this coin loudly. They chase it patiently. When one appears with original surfaces and untouched character, auction rooms shift. Bidding is cautious, then intense. Many collectors who secure one refuse to sell because they understand what's happening. Supply is shrinking, demand is growing, and people are finally waking up. That's how this ordinary-looking quarter became a piece of serious money, a silent fortune valued today around $131,000, a number that still doesn't feel real when you're holding it in your palm. Now listen carefully, because this warning matters. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Cleaning destroys original surfaces and wipes out hidden wealth instantly. Original toning matters. Dirt can be okay, damage is fatal. Professional grading is not a suggestion here, it's protection. This is how you preserve a life-changing opportunity instead of accidentally erasing it. Patience is golden, because rushing to fix a coin has destroyed more fortunes than bad luck ever has. If you've watched this entire video, you already know the truth most people don't want to accept. Hidden treasure doesn't look like treasure. Silent fortune doesn't make noise. And life-changing opportunities don't announce themselves. They sit quietly in pockets, drawers, and jars, waiting for someone who knows better. Before you spend another quarter, look twice. Slow down. Because people are losing serious money every single day without realizing it. And this is just the beginning. If these 4 Washington quarters shocked you, what's coming next will feel unreal. There are even rarer coins hiding in plain sight. And the next video exposes pieces that make this list look tame. Stay subscribed. Stay alert. And remember, the most dangerous fortune is the one you don't know you're holding.